This is a figure C trap that we actually built today. As you can see here, it has an inner C and an outer C. This outer C kind of serves as a drift fence. So what happens is the pigs will end up circling the trap whenever they see bait, and they'll start circling and they'll catch one of these drift fence. You can see there's one right here by me, and there's another one that's on the other side over there. So what happens is they'll catch one of these and they'll start walking in, and what we have is a funnel on each side. And as you can see, this inner C has 4 foot that is not attached to a T-post, and it just works as a funnel, and it's tension loaded based off of the panel, and it springs shut once the hog has entered the trap. The same thing happens on the other side here. You can see it could catch the drift fence, and it works its way in, and then it ends up shutting back behind it. Some of the things to note, as you can see, most of the T-posts on the inner C are set on the exterior of the panels. That's because whenever the hogs are in the trap, they're going to be pushing up against the panels, which push up against the T-post. We've already wired the panels together for the corral trap, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stand them up and start to build the structure of the trap, and then once we do that, we're going to put the T-post in. So to do that, you just got to stand it up on its end, and then we're going to walk the ends in to kind of form a C, because this is going to be a figure C trap with a tight C and a little C. So now what we're going to do is we're going to end up using some doubled over baling wire to wire the T-post to the actual panels of the corral trap. And if you look here, the T-post clip that everybody uses normally for doing barbed wire fences and fencing, they usually will not hold a hog, because if you were to look at the side right here where you bend the T-post clip around, it actually doesn't make a full loop around that wire, the horizontal wire. So a lot of the times what happens is the hog will get in there and it'll actually bend that back up and pop that off of the T-post, so then the panel's loose. So what we like to use is actually just doubled over baling wire and then wrap it around it. If you notice, whenever we're doing the wiring, we're using the doubled over baling wire to wire the panels to the T-post, and when we do it, we're actually wiring it and twisting from the outside of the trap. That way, whenever a hog comes by, it's not going to end up hitting the twisted wire and possibly breaking it. It's just coming across the smooth side of the wire on the inside of the trap. This right here is actually all going to be tight. This right here is going to end up being loose, and it's going to work as the funnel. As you can see, we bent about the last 4 foot of the panels on the inside of the trap, and that last 4 foot is not going to have a T-post set on it. And as you can see, the width at the start of that bend, whenever it comes even with the other panel, is going to be about roughly the width of an average man, which is probably going to be about 24 inches or so wide. And that's probably going to be about the same width as what a hog is, 24 to about 30 inches. And that way the hog can start out at the same width as their shoulders, and then they can just walk their way into the trap. Another key point is you're only going to have one post here, like I said, 4 foot before the end of this inside panel. And you want to make sure that one's set on the inside of this panel. That way whenever the hogs come through, they don't end up hitting the T-post. They only hit the panel and then push up against the T-post. Whenever you actually go into baiting the trap, you're going to want to bait most of your bait towards the exterior of the trap or the rear of the trap, kind of right in this area here. And you want a big pile here. The reason for that being is whenever you're actually baiting them, you want the hogs to come in and stay in the back of the trap, because you don't want them near the front of the trap piling up and possibly figuring out how to get out again. You want a small line of bait starting at the funnel here and then working through the funnel into the trap. And once they're in the trap, they'll work their way to the back of the trap and additional hogs will follow in.